Okay, folks, of course, here we are for the 2021 Battle of the Streetstocks, night number 2. And what an interesting night we had for the first night. If you didn't stream up or you weren't in the facilities, you really missed out a night of action-packed, hard-hitting, fast racing from the street stock class. And tonight's going to be no different. There might be talk of a couple of dollars being put up to really drum in the street stock class and put a bit of action on, and it's just going to be an amazing night. So, of course, welcome. I'm Jace from the Pits TV, and tonight we hope to bring you some pretty cool coverage of Beachlands' last meeting of the season, and, of course, night number 2 for the Battle of the Street Stocks. Fantastic support classes. You can just see the street stock drivers are making their way out now. So they've just had drivers briefings, so we're going to catch up with them pretty shortly. But you can see there's also good support classes tonight. Added to the program that wasn't going to be on tonight is the stock cars. Just about every track around the New Zealand's rained off, apart from Beachlands Speedway. And you can see here it's pretty good blue sky floating around the place. There's a wee bit of cloud. We had a wee bit of rain earlier on this morning, but of course that's all cleared up. Wee bit chilly, bit of a wind there, but other than that, shit's pretty damn good. Our support classes tonight, to the left-hand side of me here, we've got Saloon cars. Pretty much the same guys that raced here last night, with the exception of a couple that have dropped off. And then, of course, we've got the youth saloons that are going to be racing tonight. We've got production saloons. We've also got a couple of modified sprints. And, of course, we've added the stock cars in as well. So, big fields. There's a large number of fields here, so it should make for a great night of racing. So we're due to get underway in about 15 minutes' time. So, yeah, we should be up and good to go. So we're going to catch up with a couple of these guys and run some interviews, and we're back with you pretty shortly. Oh, well, we're down in the pits, caught up with Matt Stewart, the 828 car. Matt, not such a fantastic night last night. A senior car coming off the track, and one wheel was facing one way, one was the other. Battled it, worked on it all day. What's the scenario? What was the outcome?
Yeah, well, we loaded on backwards with the tractor last night, so it's not an ideal situation. But, yeah, we've had some good help today. We've spent about 6 hours in the shed, and we've rebuilt the whole front of it, new front bumper, new suspension, new subframe, the whole lot. So we're back racing, and hopefully the coin goes our way tonight for a change.
Well, I suppose you're telling to me it's one of those nights, you're telling me last night, it's one of those nights you should have just left it at home and not worried about it too much. But obviously the damage was fixable and stuff. What's the plan for tonight now? I mean, obviously you're probably not going to be at the pointy end of this deal. And is your partner, what are they doing?
Yeah, well, we're still in the top half of the field. So Dan McNally carried me a bit last night, so he's in the shootout. So we've still got a chance. So we're both just going to keep our nose clean and see where it goes.
It's going to be an interesting night tonight. I mean, there's been all talks of all sorts of carnage and stuff. What are you going to do to avoid that? Or are you going to try and be one of the people that instigates a fair bit of it?
Oh, I was in the middle of it all last night, so I think it's my turn to stay away from it tonight. So, but we'll see how we go. We'll do what we have to do, and Dan's driving well, so I'd love to get a trophy for him. So we'll see how we go.
He is going pretty damn good, isn't he? And he's the type of guy you don't want to annoy either, because he'd just about put you over into the hot dog stand, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I'm glad I've got him as a partner rather than against him.
Absolutely. Hey, well, best of luck, Matt. And, yeah, you've got to get ready to go, but we're away very shortly. And, yeah, hopefully everything turns out good for you tonight.
Yep, thanks. And thanks to the Pits team for being here. Appreciate it.
Who's your sponsors, just out of interest?
Oh, heaps. Negative Earth Moving, Turbo Shop, LNS Engines, Roll Right Fabrication, and DB Graphics.
Good stuff. There we go. That's Matt Stewart. Let's have a wee look through the field here. We've got Lockie McLean. Let's have a Lockie, come here, mate. Have a wee chat to us here. You having a bit of a mixed bag of lollies tonight, last night as well. How are you placed in the Battle of the Street Stock so far?
Not too well, mate. Had a DNF and, pretty good in the first two races, but that's just the name of the game, mate. Luck of the draw.
What's the plan for tonight?
I'll just go for it, mate. Yeah.
Are you going to be steering or racing?
Well, we're not too sure because they're going to hold the points back, so we won't be able to know who's up and who's down. So we'll just have a go, though.
Absolutely. Who's your partner?
AJ Lapsley.
Well, he goes pretty hard when he wants to as well.
That's the thing, mate. Yeah, consistent, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. So everything's all right with the car? Or it's obviously a bit bashed and crashed and all that, but it looks all right?
Yeah, it's not too bad, mate. Yeah, there's a lot of things. You look a bit harder and you find more, so you just got to do what you got to do, mate.
End of the season, though. You've got plenty of time to fix it, eh?
You do, mate. Yeah, well, it's only done one meeting, so from wrecking it in Invercargill, but it's there to wreck, isn't it?
It is what it is. Hey, who's the sponsors? Look after me.
Custom Signs, Roll Right Fabrication, Lawns and Thorns, and Roof Restores Otago.
Good stuff, mate. Well, best of luck, Lockie, and all the very best for the racing tonight. Let's have a wee bit of a look around the rest of the field here. We can see Jared Verdone is starting to get into his now, the MV Motors sponsored machine. He's good to go, and he's had not a bad meeting. just have a look at some of the damage to some of these cars. So I'll just get the cameraman here, and you can see some of them are looking pretty bashed and crashed, and there is some pretty good rumours it's going to be a fairly interesting night of real big hits. And man's travelled away from Nelson. Awesome to see and the Nelson guys attending here as well. Corey Schumacher there from 77 from Christchurch, so his car doesn't look too bad at all. The 9N's looking a bit battered and bruised, but it's still. Are you the driver? Come and have a check to us, mate. Since you come so far, so your name is?
Ryan Musgrove.
I knew that. I was just seeing if you knew it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you've come down to this battle of the street stocks, and are you enjoying it? Is it a good event?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely something to come to. Always wanted to be here, but last year with COVID missed out. So it's definitely one of the ones on the list from the start.
Okay, mate. So the car, is it what you expected, or is it a wee bit more? Is it a bit rough?
Oh no, I sort of come to this meeting knowing it's not going to be the nicest, but I thought it wasn't too bad. It's just the way it is.
Did you stay out a lot of the trouble that was happening?
Yeah, but the last race got caught up in the first tangle up, and it sort of caught me out. But yeah, it's racing.
It is racing, mate. I wouldn't imagine you see racing like this in Nelson, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. No.
Well, it's good though. It's good for you to get down here and get a bit of experience and stuff. And we have seen your name around for quite some time. What's the plan of attack? Actually, first question: who's your partner?
Jesse Helm, 21D.
Well, he goes pretty good and he knows how to hit too. So you probably got a good partner for this part of the night anyway.
Yep. Yeah, we're sitting in fourth at the moment, so we're pretty happy with that. We've both had DNFs last night, so we're pretty good.
Well, it just shows you how hard the racing is, isn't it? So what's the plan of attack tonight?
Just enjoy myself mainly. I've come all this way and yeah, it's good fun and do what I got to do.
It's a long way home too, so you might as well have some fun. You got all off season. This is the last meeting for you?
No, one more in Nelson next weekend and then possibly over to Blenheim if it's still a car.
Good stuff. Good sponsors that help you get around the countryside. Who looks after you?
Yeah, Richmond Radio Exhaust, SWAS headquarters and a few other ones there that are gone. Well, yeah, misplaced and can't think of them on the spot, but yeah, thanks to them and myself, Muzz Motorsport, so no, it's good. Good
stuff, mate. Well, hey, best of luck for racing and hopefully you can bring it higher than fourth spot at the end of the night.
Yeah, definitely, and see what I can do and having fun, that's the main goal.
Have you seen the trophies that are in the club rooms, man? They're impressive, aren't they?
Yep, definitely. Definitely go well at home, but it's a dream, but there's plenty more to come in a few years to come.
Good stuff, mate. Well, best of luck. Awesome job, and great to see you here all the way from Nelson. So there's Craig Blackler there. He's in the wrong place at the wrong time, so we might grab one of the local Dunedin boys whilst we're here in the 8D machine. And your car's probably looking not too bad, but have you been in the battles last night?
No, I got through pretty unscathed, really. No, it was good.
Where are you sitting?
Fifth or something.
Well, that's a good place to be in because you're sort of not too far away, but anything could happen, really.
Yeah, we're not too far away, so we'll just see what happens tonight. Yeah.
All right, so who's your partner?
This man right here, 73 Ian, Shannon.
Does he go right?
Yeah, he went all right. We finished all his races last night. I think we're sitting third or fourth together, so we're pretty good.
So who do you want to look after sponsorship-wise, mate?
Well, Tahura Shearing's one of the sponsors, and that's about all I carry, really, yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Well, best of luck for tonight, and just try and keep it nice and simple, eh?
Righto, thank you.
Okay, Troy Dryden, there he is. Look at this man here, 82i from Invercargill. I think there's only you and one other from Invercargill, mate, so you're really representing the old Southland badge, aren't you?
Oh, doing my best, mate. Everywhere I go, we'll give it a shot.
How's your fan belts going last night?
Oh, don't go there, mate.
Tell us about it.
Oh, the entire season's been brilliant. First race last night because of the red flags, starting and stopping. On my gear change, it just throws the fan belts off.
Oh yeah. So is it what? I mean, I know I spoke to you last night in the club rooms, and you said that the surface is tremendous and very, very fast. Is it because you're getting up there in the engine revs that it's sort of creating these fan belts falling off?
Yeah, well, it's because I am so high on the revs. I tell you what, I give absolute credit to the track crew up here. One of the best tracks I've raced on this year. Traction everywhere.
What do you do though? I mean, you've got a fast car, and one of the things what I did last night is I got out of my broadcast truck and I went and stood at the fence, and by George, you guys are absolutely flying around this track, eh?
Yeah, well, we've got some. This is the best of the best down here. That's why we're all invite. This is to see who can actually do it, who can cut it, and who can keep the car on the track.
So, where you're sitting on in the whole race meeting at the moment?
I don't know. I don't care. We'll find out in prize given.
Who's your partner?
I've got Braden Adams, 475D.
Oh yeah, and he goes all right?
Yeah, he's flying out there. He's doing absolutely awesome. Because I've had 2 DNFs, he's the one that's kept us up where we are.
Good stuff. So let's talk about your sponsors. Who looks after you?
I've got Bro Build Engines, who's in charge of my motor. I've got Powder Line by Sivrite in Invercargill. I've also got automotive and industrial coatings. Yep.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck, Troy, and I'm sure the guys appreciate you coming in, even though it's an invite stuff. You still got to front up and do the job, and you haven't disgraced yourself. You had a couple of fan belts, but I'm sure you're going to make up for it tonight.
Hopefully, we've done a couple of things, alterations. Let's see if they work.
Good stuff. That's Troy Dryden, folks, here, and I think we just might about leave it for now and let these guys get to their cars because we're due to kick off in about 5 minutes' time. So make sure you stay tuned to the Pits TV. Now, the other thing we didn't tell you right at the very start of the meeting is there's actually a street stock chain race to come as well. So where they're going to put a derby car to the back of a street stock. That might be interesting. Stay tuned to the Pits TV to find out what happens in that.
Anything can happen in this street stock game though, can't it? I mean, it doesn't really matter how good a driver you are, and at the moment we've got the best of the best street stock drivers down here at the moment. They've come from all over the South Island to battle it out. He does have the horsepower, he does have the talent to go from the back to the front and take the $1,000, but a lot of this comes down to luck, doesn't it, Steve? I mean, they are a contact grade, and all it takes is for a right hand back tyre to pop, and that's it. I mean, their hopes are over.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I mean, double points on this race also for the individual points over the 6 heats. So these 10 cars, needless to say, are going to feature at the pointy end of the results after 6 heats. At the conclusion of tonight, so obviously the $1,000 will be on Ben Jenkins' mind. Everyone else on the racetrack will be looking to bank a fair few points. What about the 59 machine of Benji Smale, current New Zealand Grand Prix champion, from the outside of the front row? He'll be hard to peg back from there.
Are you ready, Steve? This is what we came for. The top 10 shootout for street stocks. Get behind it, guys. These guys are the best of the best. Your top qualifiers going into night number 2. Steve, I'll leave this up to you.
Green in the air, the heart rate comes up. Green and racing, so Benji Smale got away nicely, as did Kelly Campbell. 3 wide into turn number 1. Look at Kelly Campbell in the 12 car around the pole line, takes the lead. Jared Verdona and the Hulk Blackler struggling to get off turn number 2. Down the backstretch though, Braden Adams, big flat slide up into the wall, so he's dropped a ton of spots. Lead change, Mike Jones in the 29 car. The Falcon Parts 29C gets underneath Kelly Campbell. Another one of these fast BA Falcons hits the front, early doors in the shootout. Braden Adams dropping down through the field. Just can't get the 475 to rotate at either end of the track. So it's all Mike Jones. Comes to the stripe with a comfortable wee lead. Ben Jenkins is up into 4th place, so this is on. Ben Jenkins goes in on Corey Schumacher, hip and shoulder, moves into 3rd place. So Ben Jenkins coming for the cash in this one in the 3-4-5. Mike Jones looking strong though, early doors. Ben Jenkins slides up the racetrack all the way to the fence and undoes that good work. Just 8 laps the distance in this one, so he can't afford too many of those little slip-ups. As Paul Leslie now moving through into 2nd place, 2 wide down the back straight with the 12 car of Kelly Campbell. The track just looking a little bit dicey up high at the moment. The track obviously has been prepped to go the distance through the evening, and this is the first race out tonight. As Corey Schumacher now moves into 2nd place, so Mike Jones is checked out, and without the benefit of a caution, you would say Mike Jones has this one in the bag. Corey Schumacher in the 77. A little bit of smoke or steam coming from the back of the 77 machine. Quick time race leader Mike Jones with a 20.8. And it's on for sheep stations for the miners. Paul Leslie in the Drainmate 27C car. Doing all he can, running in 3rd at the moment, just battling to get underneath the Lexus V8 of Schumacher as we race to the white flag. Mike Jones comes off a 4, takes the white flag, so 1 revolution of the Rock FM Beachlands Speedway for the Falcon Parts 29C machine of Jonesy, Mike Jones. Double points, of course. Ben Jenkins down through the field, but it's all Mike Jones. The Transform Falcon Parts 29C gets the flag from Corey Shoemaker in second. Paul Leslie ran third. Action at the line between Kelly Campbell and the 21C of Dan McAnally.
That was a bit of a shame for Ben Jenkins, wasn't it? I mean, that car got all the way up to, I think it was about third spot before he just went a wee bit too wide and fell back. But this guy, all the way from Christchurch, they definitely know how to pedal, these boys.
Yeah, Mike Jones, Magic Mike Jones, he carried serious speed there. Checked out, didn't he? Length of the straight and dominant performance. He'll well and truly have a target painted on the back of that 29C car.
Production Saloons, production stock car they are based off, and you can see that. They do have a few less bars than what the street stocks do, but pretty much the same. And a very good competitive grade with big numbers here at Beachlands Speedway. Steve, you want to take her away?
The lights are down again, so we'll go racing again here at Beachlands Speedway. Heat number 1 with the Production Saloons. Front row, out the gate, Callum Stanley on the outside, Jared Constable on the inside, green and racing. So Elena Johnson in that 23 machine running around the bottom of the racetrack. And a good stout field of Production Saloons here tonight. A few cars that we didn't see last night. I know Callum Stanley running in that second position. Just couldn't get the time off work. Parts man at JJ's in Mosgiel, Callum Stanley. Good hard-nosed racer in the Production Saloon grade. That 85D machine chasing. Jared Constable leading the way. The 24 car, the Subaru, been through a number of engines, has that car over the last sort of season and a half. So Jared Constable has well and truly found the handle on the 24D machine. What about the 98 car, Joshua Glover? Moved up into third position. He's a car we didn't see here last night. Josh Glover, a graduate of the youth production grade. He's all over the back of Callum Stanley as we go too wide down into turn number 1. Josh Glover in that 98 car, working around the middle of the racetrack, gets good drive down the back stretch, will go too wide once more. Josh Glover will look to get it done at 3. Stanley, though, digs around the pole line. So a good battle for the second spot. Josh Glover now chops down to the bottom and will set his sights on race leader Jared Constable in the 24. Battle for 4th heating up between the 55 car of Darren Simpson and Elena Johnson. But it's on now for the lead. Joshua Glover again goes to the middle of the racetrack. Too wide down the back stretch. Jared Constable now will know he has company at the front of this one. Josh Glover, though, carries the speed. Darren Simpson's gone spinner at turn number 3. Will stay green. Lead change at turn number 1, Josh Glover. Found some real estate round the outside to make some strong moves to get to the front of this one. Heat number 1 with the Production Saloons. 10 laps the distance. Lap traffic going to come into it as the Hammer Brian Wilson in the 7 car will go a lap down shortly. He's battling with the 78 car for the Miners. I believe that would be Niall Brookland. As we look down through the field, Gary Cuff struggling to find any raceable clay in the big FG Falcon. Josh Glover, though, cutting through the lappers, takes the white flag, 1 to run. For the 98, PG Engineering, JCR Racing, Mitsubishi, off of turn number 4, to the strike, Joshua Glover. Takes heat number 1 from Jared Constable. in the 24. Next back was Callum Stanley. That 85 machine. Elena Johnson raced well for 4th. Regan Constable, who was strong last night, in 5th position. Correction, Ben Howard, the 34 5th. Regan Constable ran 6th. So Joshua Glover, a 3.2 second victory in the end. Heat number 1 with the production saloons here at Beachlands Speedway, the Rock FM Beachlands Speedway. On night number 2, Battle of the Streetstocks. Be sure to give Joshua Glover a big round of applause as he'll make his way around the top of the racetrack in front of this good building crowd.
Stock cars. I mean, look at that thing of Gary Cuff's, the big Falcon there. It is such a well presented, and it's only a production saloon, and people say it's only production saloon, it's a hot dog grade or whatever, but I mean, when you're sticking that kind of money and you're creating those kind of cars, it really shows that people do take this grade very, very seriously, and they want to put on a really good show for everyone that are showing up here. I mean, look at the crowd. It's definitely a decent crowd for Beachlands.
Yep, it looks like we're going to go down to an interview a little bit later on with the one, the only Harley Robb. And we love Harley Robb, don't we, Stiffy? As everybody around the country seems to.
Nah.
Yeah, right, short and sweet answer.
Nah, he's all right. He's all right.
As you were saying, though, the FG Falcon of Gary Cuff, it really is a cool machine, and full credit to him. Like, he battled to find the handle on that race car. For the better part of a season, he was trying just to find the right setup with that machine, and he's got it to a point now where he's taken plenty of flags and some great battles with the one, the only Alan Kurt, and the other big Falcon in the production saloon grade. So it is a...
He doesn't do too bad, old Alan Kurt, for someone who's probably older than everybody here combined, eh?
I reckon Alan Kurt might be older than this venue. What do you reckon?
Definitely. Yeah, he was... God said, let there be light, and he flicked the switch, that guy. But he knows how to pedal a race car, doesn't he? I mean, he's still at the pointy end of the field, and I reckon this guy will pass away here on this track. And he lives and breathes Speedway, doesn't he? And that Falcon, he's had it for years and years and years. I mean, he's 80-something years old now and still going for it.
Yeah, I remember many, many years ago, obviously he carries number 37, and a commentator when I was sitting in the stand said if he turned his number around and made it 73, that was his age.
That was me, yeah.
That was more than 10 years ago, I reckon.
Yeah, no, he's definitely good. But stock cars come all the way up here from Invercargill. They were supposed to race their Southland Champs, but it got rained off down there. We are one of the only tracks racing in the country. So look at the field of these guys. I mean, 2.5 hours ago, they were in Invercargill getting ready to race down there before it got rained off.
What about the 4-wide stack-up, Stiffy? This is going to be a fun one.
This is good.
The 215 machine of Kaha Gray, middle of the front row, but it looks like Sinead McNally in that 121 takes the early lead. Casey McEwen digging hard.
24 car of Cody Glover going round over there with a bit of help, and Peter Knight also getting caught up in a bit of tangle there.
Yeah, Nico Tahura dropped right to the tail. He's a man who knows how to dish a few things up. He was upside down at the last race meeting here, so it'll be interesting to watch his progress.
Not a good way to race.
What about Harry Greer, Stiffy, in that 33 machine? He's a man who knows how to hit. We've seen him dish out a fair bit of punishment over the last season or so in the stock car grade here.
That's right, very immaculate looking car too, looking to go underneath that 121 car there of Sinead McNally for that first spot, but McNally takes him to the infield, so he won't be able to pass now.
There's a bit of experience shown there, wasn't it, by Sinead McNally to take him down under the pole line. Of course, you cannot gain an advantage down there. Harry Greer now dishes the bumper up. Good stuff for the lead of this one. Harry Greer leads the way. McNally goes in. Greer with a blocking line down into one. Sinead McNally retakes the lead. This one spicing up nicely at the Rock FM Beachlands Speedway.
The 215 car there of Kahu Gray just sitting down there in that third spot, but look at the battle for fourth and fifth. between that 9 car of Rob Mitchell and the big tank there, and also the 16T car of Casey McEwen. Now that was brought up to be a good battle. Oh, McEwen gives him a bit of a serve over there in turn 1 and 2, Steve.
Yeah, stopped him at turn number 2, didn't he? It was lucky it didn't dig in. The track's looking a little bit heavy up there. Action at the front though. Harry Greer again to the point. McNally will dish it up into turn 1.
This is a brilliant battle, Steve. They're using their bumpers, but not doing anything too stupid. So red light now. So that'll be for Rob Mitchell, and also the other car that was caught up in there. Can you remember who that was?
It's Casey McEwen in the
That's right,
16. So one of the Central Motor Speedway stock cars, Casey McEwen, and certainly an instrumental force in the stock car grade up there in Cromwell is Casey McEwen.
And the 86i car from Invercargill, Peter Young, going into the infield. Not a way he'll want to start that race. Up in Nelson a couple of weeks ago, a successful stint there for Peter Young, so getting some experience under his belt, but we're back racing.
Yeah, the 215 of Kaha Gray takes over the lead as Harry Greer and McNally played some games on the restart.
That was a brilliant restart by Kahu Gray.
There's Zane Tahura streak through also, so that 88 car is for position now. Harry Greer hip and shoulder off turn number 2, and that's 2 wide for second place. Fantastic race to open the account in the stock car grade here tonight.
Those two still going at it. The 16 car of Casey McEwen. Oh no, Casey McEwen. Yeah, it was Casey McEwen. He's having a bit of a play with the 75 car there of Nico Tahura. So these guys, very similar looking cars, those two, and he pulls Casey to the infield. So Casey will, those two gone right to the back of the pack now. But the battle up the front, the top 4, you could chuck a blanket over. Look at the racing drone chasing them down. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, the drone catches my eye every now and then. If you're wondering what that is in the arena, yeah, that's a drone operator getting some amazing footage. Funny looking man on the infield looking through his special goggles.
I thought you were talking about my dad. He's a funny looking person. He's got a drone too,
he's
but
not a funny,
not like that.
He's a funny looking big man, your dad. As Kaha Gray in the 215 from Greymouth coming under fire on the last lap from Zane Tahura. We're racing to the checkered flag, and it is going to be the 215. Kaha Gray from Greymouth from the 88 car of Zane Tahura. Sinead McNally ran 3rd in the 121. Harry Greer had to settle for 4th at the end of that one. And the 9 machine, which has tonight Rob Mitchell at the helm, come home in 5th position. Of course, that car normally piloted by Ben Finlayson here at Beachlands Speedway.
That was a brilliant race up the front. I mean, they didn't do anything too out the gate for their first race, but they used the bumpers when they had to. The top 4, you could chuck a blanket over, and it was just fantastic racing. The calibre of cars, I mean, we haven't seen stock cars for quite a while down in Southland or Central Otago, and these guys are just, from what I watched earlier in the year, late last year, compared to what I'm watching now, is just absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, it's seriously cool. Like a few seasons ago here at Beachlands Speedway, we had, perhaps 2 or 3 stock cars trying to, keep the grade alive. Of course, the Taylor brothers instrumental in that. So the way that it's exploded now, and as you mentioned, Stiffy, the calibre of cars. Like I know Jack Honeybone, who's not racing with us tonight in the 934 car, that was a brand new Rees chassis. So that investing in the grade and investing in competitive equipment, it certainly ups the level. I know the Tahura brothers in their stock car racing are investing heavily in good competitive cars, are travelling around, flying the flag for Beachlands Speedway around the country.
Hi, welcome to X Factor Cars, Southland's multi-award-winning pre-owned dealership. Stockists of classic collectibles, V8s, family vehicles, trade vehicles, and everything in between. Thinking American or Aussie muscle, family vehicle or custom? Think X Factor Cars.
We will go through the field for you that are lined up on the track behind our Mr. Presidente, Ricky Trump. the 96 car, the MV Motorsport sponsored car of Mark Newell. Very, very quick car, this one. The 10D car of Stu Miller on his outside. We'll go back to the second row, the 33 car. That is very, very immaculate looking Greer logging, colour car painters sponsored 33 of Shane Greer. Then we'll go back to 28, Barry Taylor. On his outside will be Blair Finlay, and off the back in that last row, Aaron Andrews, and also Brendan Fisher in the 17 car. So the green flag gets dropped. We are up and underway for the first race of the Saloons here at the Rock Beachlands Speedway. Stu Miller around the outside is going to get off to a quick start from 96 Mark Newell. It's almost like he was asleep on that restart, Steve. He's opened up a bit of a gap back to Mark now, with Blair Finlay coming from that second back row to be third.
Yeah, Blair Finlay is a serious race car driver. He's just a young fella, young self-employed Blair Finlay, finding his way in the sport of speedway. Good to see the 98 car hooked up, but what about the Flying Scotsman, Stu Miller in the 10D?
He's having a very nice race out there, but Mark is he's found that cush about mid-track there, going around 1 and 2, and it's given him a fantastic drive coming off 2, and he closes right up on Stu, but looks like Stu's just got a wee bit more going down the front straight. So Newell's all over him there in that second spot, Blair Finlay. Then we'll go back, fourth spot, Shane Greer from 28, Barry Taylor, Brendan Fisher. Not taking long to adapt to that car. Already gone past the 57 car, the Hypermac, the older generation Hypermac of Aaron Andrews. So they are both from exactly the same chassis build of those cars, but a lot of differences from the Gen 2 to the Gen 5. So Stu Miller up front, still trying to hold off the hard charging 96 of Mark Newell. Newell, they come past us underneath here in the control tower to get another lap under their belt. Is Mark Newell going to be able to do anything? He has had a bit of a sniff up the inside a couple of times, but hasn't been able to make it stick. So that race up front is definitely where your eyes need to be, Steve.
Oh, the Flying Scotsman in the 10D machine has got that Total Lubricant supported car hooked up in this one. Awesome performance, the best we've seen from Stu Miller for quite some time. The MV Motorsport car of Mark Newell had a little bit of mechanical gremlins to overcome last night, did Mark Newell. But looking racy as ever at the moment. Just trying to pluck the courage up to go upstairs, I think, at the southern end of the racetrack. Mark Newell, he thought about going high and wide. Stu Miller now goes exploring a little bit higher at 3 and 4. Mark Newell digs round the bottom, chasing hard in the MV number 96. Again, Mark Newell on the bottom. Stu Miller just searching for that cushion at both ends. Sunstrike perhaps going to become a factor at the moment over at turn number 4, especially as they turn to face the sun here at the Rock FM Beachlands Speedway.
Can they not get their sunglasses off the dash, Steve?
No, I'm not sure they can reach the sunglass case from the belted in position stiffy. Stu Miller, though, holding on to the point of this one. Blair Finlay appears to be perhaps closing down the leading pair, but Shane Greer running onto the rear of Blair Finlay. So the top 4 cars perhaps going to come together in this one. Stu Miller holding on.
So that track looking absolutely fantastic as well. These guys are hitting that cush. What they'll do every time they hit that cush, they're going to push it further and further up towards the fence, which later on in the night is going to give us a 2-lane racetrack. So there'll be outside, inside passes as long as they want to go up top. The track is looking just fantastic. And look at Blair Finlay now. The ticket flag will fly. He's left it a little too late, but Stu Miller just holds off the 96 car of Mark Newell. What a race up the front. Blair Finlay closes it right up to come home third. Then we'll go back to that 33 car, and that is Shane Greer, followed by 28 Barry Taylor, 57 Aaron Andrews, and 17 Brendan Fisher will bring up the rear of the field. So what a drive to the 10 car of Stu Miller, Steve?
The Flying Scotsman got a flag. Pay him off, folks. He has been digging around this racetrack for quite some time, trying to get the 10D machine hooked up. Man who loves his speedway racing. Give him a big ovation down at 1 and 2 in the family area. Stu Miller, he will be loving that one.
The St. Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-boned fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons. Lights go down and we roll round toward the green. Front row of this one, Tyler Kelk in the 48 car. Outside of the 828 machine, Maddie Stewart. We took a checkered flag last night, did Maddie Stewart. What about the 88 machine, Caleb Marshall inside of the second row. Racing now, green flag. And Tyler Kelk wastes no time to take the point of this one. Too wide down through the field. Leroy Gillies in the 95 machine. Worked his way up into fourth place and he's thinking about going 3 wide for the second spot. Maddie Stewart, Caleb Marshall with a big flat slide through turn number 4. Maddie Stewart up into second place now. Stem seals a little bit leaky on the 828. Blows the smoke on vacuum. It's boring engine chat as Tyler Kelk leading the way. The 48 car though with a big push at 3 and 4. 2 wide for the race lead as Maddie Stewart working her way round the outside of the Save Money Skips 48. Of course, the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons, 12 to 16 years of age, 1600cc maximum. Tyler Kelk holding on to the front of this one. Maddie Stewart changes lane, goes to the bottom of the racetrack as Tyler Kelk's car just struggling to rotate. Big push at both ends at the moment for Tyler Kelk. The Super Cats may be a little bit over-pressured on the 48 as Maddie Stewart working hard in second position, the 828 car. Leroy Gillies in the 95. With his hands full of Caleb Marshall in the 88 car. They're too wide down the backstretch. One thing we know, folks, the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons, they race hard every time they hit the clay. Tyler Kelk now beginning to draw away from Maddie Stewart. Leroy Gillies in that 95 car worked his way into third position and looking to make that second at turn number 3 and 4. Maddie Stewart a little bit high and wide. As Shannon Simon now buys into this one, the 26 car looking to make an impression. Tyler Kelk's checked out somewhat. Maddie Stewart now holding off a fearsome gaggle of cars. Leroy Gillies down on the pole line in the 95 machine. Shannon Simon also down low. Caleb Marshall thinks the cushion is where he needs to be in the 88 car. So a good 4-way battle. You could throw a flannel over those 4 cars. Maddie Stewart, the full noise custom Stewart Motorsport machine. Maddie Stewart absolutely has found form this season. Liam Gillies again digging round the bottom. Stewart middle of the racetrack. White flag though, 1 to run. Tyler Kelk's checked out. So jot that one down, the 48 car. Gets the job done, but the battle for second. Holy moly, the battle for second. Maddie Stewart, the 828. Runs off turn number 4 to the stripe. Liam Gillies on the inside. 4 wide at the line. We'll wait for the official timing for that one. I believe the 828 of Maddie Stewart ran second. Bring it up on screen now. So Maddie Stewart ran second from 95, Liam Leroy Gillies. Shannon Simon got up into 4th position. Caleb Marshall had to settle for 5th, although he was right in amongst that battle. The Mulford Holdings Youth Saloon grade. The flag to the Save Money Skips, Auto Care Workshops, custom signs supported. 48D machine, Tyler Kelk.
This kid's unreal, isn't he? I mean, I've watched him come up over the last couple of seasons, Steve, and he was never really a back marker. I mean, from the time that he got in that car, he found the accelerator straight away, but now he's got throttle control. He's got control of the car. He has come such a long way. I mean, his dad, obviously being an ex-street stock driver, has put a lot of knowledge into his head and helped him along the way. But you definitely can't take it away from, I mean, the rest of them. Everyone's out there. Everyone's doing the deed. They are the future of Speedway. I mean, it got brought up country a wee bit further. The mini stocks in the youth grade, and a lot of these drivers now getting older, jumping into super saloon, super stock, stuff like that, and actually being very, very competitive right off the bat. And it is because of grades like this and drivers like that.
As heat number 4 for the Battle of the Street Stocks lines up, the native 44 from Greymouth.
See this, Steve? I got a coffee. Look at that. Yeah. I got it from down the bottom at this lady called
Look at us. Look at us.
Oh, what up? The lady down there at I call her Sandy Cheeks. Her real name's Sandy. I'll tell you what, she'd be the only lady that I know that could run into a wall as fast as she could and not break her nose.
Sandy Cheeks. Keeps the speed down a little bit and keeps the vehicles nice and simple as the lights are set to go down. Heat number 4, 2021, Battle of the Street Stocks. About to get it on. Lockie McLean with a clear passage from the inside of the second row.
Let's go, Steve. We are on, mate.
Brad Kahui with a slow start. What about Jesse Helm firing it up the inside of the bank? Brett Bauer down into 1 and 2.
Oh, look at that. The 47D car straight away of Sam
Cathro has been turfed. Oh, Paul Leslie was right up on 2 wheels at 3 and 4. That was wild. Lockie McLean leading the way. And look at the logjam down through the field, folks. Ben Jenkins, of course, top on points coming into the night. Lapsley goes after the native.
Oh, this is up the front. This could be dangerous
spot to be parked, but he gets away with it. And Lockie McLean leading the way.
AJ Lapsley just straight lines that 1-2-1 car there of Buddy Finch over there. Oh, look at that. The 47 car comes in and gives him a bit of a serve on the way past.
Yeah, that was vicious. Evil from Sam Cathro to have a swipe at the right front of Lapsley. He's punching the tyre. Suspension damage also. But the reds are on for Buddy Finch. Major left front damage on Buddy Finch's machine.
What a pile up on that first corner over there. There must have been about 6 or 7 cars involved, but all managing to pull away from that. The 1-2-1 car, a bit of a different incident. The Falcon Parts car, he did win the shootout. Was that the car that won the shootout? And he's parked up over there with, looks like a bit of a runny nose.
There's something going on left front. Meanwhile, I believe race leader, the 187 Lockie McLean. So Lockie had a good night last night.
Look at the pile up over there. That is cars up on 2 wheels and just about rolling over up the fence. Round they go.
Paul Leslie went up very high, didn't he? Opening lap at 1 and 2. Buddy Finch was right in amongst that tumble dryer. What about Paul Leslie? Used Musgrove's wagon to keep the car down on 2 wheels. As we look over to our race leader, the 187D machine. At the end of the back straight, Jesse Helm runs second in the 21 car. But what about
Look at that 27 car. He went for about 5 or 6 metres up there on 2 wheels. On the bicycle he goes.
It's lucky the BA wagon of Ryan Musgrove is such a hearty, girthy race car. The Commodore of Leslie leant right up on it. He was over for sure if he didn't have that car outside him. What about, look at the side of Brian Nicolau's 77. It's been eliminated. Racing again. So the 187 of Lockie McLean picks up where he left off. Comes onto the front straight. He's got a good, healthy lead. His car's charging through the midfield. Ryan Musgrove has got the attention of Ben Jenkins. As they charge to the northern end of the racetrack, Braden Adams goes cross-country. Lapsley limping in the panel van. Sam Cathro also limping, so Cathro will look to dish something out if he can.
The 15D car just put himself around there of Ben Turner. He went to put in a bit of a serve on another car and put himself around. Kelly Campbell there, he's got a bit of attention from the 187 car of Lockie McLean. This race for race 1 is on, Steve. It is just fantastic.
Lockie McLean showing awesome urgency to get his way through these lappers. He's up on the 73 car from Nelson. That's Shandog, Shannon Ma. Lockie McLean knows he's at the front of this one, knows there are points on offer, and he won't miss. He'll make this one count if he can. Look at the side, missing off the 25 of Gerald Verdona. Struggling a little bit for speed, comes under the attention of Mitchell Lavender. The native comes out on the racetrack in front of that pair.
Mitchell just gives him a bit of a serve there just to send him a wee bit wide so that he can get a grid position, but didn't quite make that thing stick. I tell you what, there's action all over this track. These guys are starting to separate themselves now, and the leader got a bit of a gap back to that second place car. I tell you what, you don't even know where to watch, do you?
The battle for second here, Jesse Helm, Benji Smale, Paul Leslie, all for position.
Oh, 21 put himself around.
Jesse Helm's gone around out of second spot, so that's critical for Jesse Helm's
He's done
points.
that all by himself. I bet he didn't even know he was second. There's so many cars out on track, you just don't know who's who, and these guys normally know where they're at, but there's a lot of cars out there, Steve.
So Paul Leslie running in second now in the 27 car. Clint Gillies just checks up his progress. Benji Smale and Mikey Jones, Magic Mike in that 29 car. He's cut his way through the traffic. So that's second, third and fourth. Lockie McLean has stayed well out of the carnage. Brett Bauer coming under attack down the front stretch. Big tank slapper. As we have 3 laps to run.
Oh, Kelly Campbell goes around over there in a pretty dangerous spot. Car's taking evasive action to manoeuvre him.
Paul Leslie with the native Brad Kahui checking his progress.
The 417 Clint Gillies going around over there with a bit of help from that 345 car of Ben Jenkins. He's going to rejoin down the pack a wee bit.
So Benji Smale dispatched the native Brad Kahui. Got rid of the AU Falcon. We are on the last lap. Lockie McLean's got a running mate in behind him. Mitchell Lavender is going to shadow him all the way to the strike. Lockie McLean gets the job done in the 187 machine. Paul Leslie is going to run second. Benji Smale third, from Magic Mike Jones in fourth.
And there's still cars going around as well. These guys are...
I suspect Corey Schumacher in fifth in the 77 as we wait for the field to finish. We'll get the official timing and scoring on screen at the conclusion of this one. But what did you make of that, Stiffy?
I thought it was fantastic. And this grade, I tell you, I used to come to a speedway meeting and I'd complain because they didn't hit. They just were not hitting for a number of seasons. And
what about the fastest lap?
Look at that, AJ Lapsley. So he must have done that earlier on in the race. 17.91 seconds. We touched on an interview earlier on about how quick these guys are cruising around this, well, not cruising, but racing around this track. It is just a phenomenal track, and you know it's a good track when they're doing lap times like that. So what do you think of that, guys, the girls and Nana? I thought that was a fantastic race, and there's still 2 more races to come as well, and a chain race. So they're going to chain derby cars to the back of these street stocks, and they are going to try and miss each other, or do they hit each other?
I think hitting's probably the name of the game there, but pay him off, folks. Lockie McLean, the 187 car, unimpeded all the way there. He had a clear run to turn number 1, of course, started inside of the second row with nobody in front of him. Lockie McLean stayed out of the trouble. Second was Paul Leslie, third was Benji Smale. Magic Mike Jones ran 4th in the 29 car. Corey Schumacher in the 77 ran 5th. And it was Braden Adams, Ryan Musgrove in the big wagon. So plenty of these competitors.
Hi, I'm Brittany Carpenter, driver of 85 GM, based out of Greymouth. I use wholesale tyres, coloured chrome rims on my car. If you're looking for something unique and different on your car, contact Wholesale Tyres to get these coloured rims. Or get a hold of them on Facebook at Wholesale Tyres, or go onto their website, which is www.wholesaletyres.net.nz. See you trackside.
Need colour chrome rims? Wholesale Tyres. Good rims, better prices, great people.
There's Regan Constable outside of the second row in the 63. Michelle Cuff, Gareth Cayley the third row. As we come to the green, racing now. Gary Cuff gets the early jump, but look at Regan Constable in the 63 car. Looking racy, gets through into second spot. Running around the bottom of the racetrack, that 63 machine. Gareth Cayley up the inside of Finlay. That's for fourth, so Finlay dropping like a stone early doors in this one. Regan Constable took a couple of flags last night in that 63 machine. Won the second heat last night. Oh, look at Gary Cuff, gets the Falcon. As sideways as you like at turn number 4 was Gary Cuff. The rear wheel drive leading the charge. And don't you love it? Nobody loves a doggy peddler. The big rear wheel drive Falcon leading the way. Real speedway stuff. Gary Cuff holding on to the point. He's got Regan Constable all over him though, like a bad rash at the moment. Constable looking around the outside. Gets to the right rear quarter panel. And we'll have a dip around the top of 3 and 4. Gets to the outside, too wide at the stripe this time. Regan Constable opens the door though for Ben Howard, who senses an opportunity and goes up the inside. Ben Howard nibbling away, trying to get it done. Gary Cuff though, holding off a spirited attack from Regan Constable. As Ben Howard on the inside, down the back stretch, gets to turn number 3. Constable is going to need to be decisive in his move around the outside. Too wide once more at turn number 1 and 2. Darren Simpson will flash past in the background a shot with a flat right front bag on the 55 car. Action at the front. Regan Constable certainly looking the story, just cannot find the drive off turn number 2. Too wide down the back straight for the lead. Regan Constable will send it in deep and try and drive off of 4. If he can get to the pole line, he'll have the move in the book. Gary Cuff now a car length back, so Regan Constable has got clear. Ben Howard looking to get it done as the white flag pokes through the fence. 1 to run, a quarter mile round Beachlands Speedway for Regan Constable, who struggled in the opening heat race, but certainly best on show in this one. Too wide for second at 3 and 4 on the final lap. Ben Howard gets good drive off the bottom, but it's Gary Cuff takes second from Ben Howard. Next back was Joshua Glover, then Gareth Cayley, as we wait for Brian the Hammer Wilson to round out the field in the 7 car. So there you have it, folks. Regan Constable takes heat number 2 for the production saloons from Gary Cuff. Ben Howard, Joshua Glover in the 98 car ran 4th. Gareth Cayley rounded out the top 5. Struggling down through the field, Elena Johnson, of course, with that replacement right front tyre before the start of that one. Didn't have the speed or the drive. And make any real impact in the 23 machine. So the off-the-rails racing, Retro Automotive, Colour Car Painters, Sawyers Bay Transport Limited, supported 63D. Regan Constable takes the chocolates. Heat number 2, the production saloons. And what is night number 2 of the Rock FM Beachlands Speedway Battle of the Streetstocks. So your front row, Billy Greer in the 17, Casey McEwen in the 16, Harry Greer in the 33, Zane Tahura in the 88, right out on the fence. Pace truck off, green in the air. Racing now, and Harry Greer, like a bullet from a gun, gets away. Peter Knight stalled. As he gives the '95 car some attention. To the front route we go, and Harry Greer with a good, comfortable lead. Couple of Greymouth cars running second and third. That's Gray and McNally down the back stretch. Good looking race cars, those two. As McNally goes in, hip and shoulder. On Gray, that's for third. That's good action. For second, sorry. It's a good shot off the end of the back stretch from Zane Tahura. This battle spices up for second position. Nico Tahura buying in. Puts a bumper on Kaha Gray in the 215. Shifts him out of the way. Action at the other end of the racetrack. Peter Knight, Casey McEwen. McEwen has had enough to the infield. Peter Knight, Cody Glover playing games. Nico Tahura's gone around. It's Peter Knight and Tree going at it. What about Mitchell? Cops big punishment under the control tower from Nico Tahura. Action all around this racetrack. Harry Greer continues to lead, but there's some shots coming in down the backstretch. Nico Tahura is hitting anything that moves at the moment. As he goes after Cody Glover. Young Savannah Simon was tagged there and slapped the fence hard. Peter Knight parked at the pit gate now. Rob Mitchell, Cody Glover at turn number 2 with contact. Reds are out. So the lead of this one is the 33 car of Harry Greer from 121 Sinead McNally, 215 Kaha Gray. Beyond that, plenty of shots from plenty of people all around this racetrack. Peter Knight takes a push to the infield. It was a messy sort of deal down the front stretch. Nico Tahura went after Cody Glover, spun him into Savannah Simon up on 2 wheels. Peter Knight, innocent bystander in that one. So that's a tumble dryer if ever we saw it. Savannah Simon lucky not to go up and over as we go green on the racetrack once more. Harry Greer leads the way. Cast my eye around this track, a little bit strung out. So it's not looking like there'll be any big shots coming in. we wind our way toward the end of this one, perhaps Nico Tahura and Cody Glover. We're coming together at turn number 2 now. Nico Tahura shots on the back of Cody Glover. White flag for our race leaders though. Tahura and Glover to the infield. We've only got 4 cars running. Harry Greer though, coast to coast in this one. Harry Greer takes the flag in the 33. Kaha Gray, Sinead McNally play into the line. That was nasty. The pit gate bent in half. Nasty shot Sinead McNally put on Kaha Gray in the 215. Boy, oh boy, I want to see a replay of that one. That was at the stripe. So Gray crossed the stripe, spinning to run second from the 121 of Sinead McNally. Nico Tahura ran 4th in the finish in the 75 car. But a nasty shot on the pit gate. Pit gate's deformed. It really caught the car of Kaha Gray.
Technical Welding Services Hamilton are specialists in the transit concrete mixer industry. From chassis drop-off to a full working concrete mixing, the team will take care of the job from start to finish. Full engineering services and general sheet metal work can also be undertaken. Need a quote? Call 07 847 2031 or visit our website www.techweld.nz. Technical Welding Services Hamilton, we are the experts.
Good health here at Beachlands Speedway at the moment. New blood coming into the grade. Seasoned campaigners, the likes of Aaron Andrews, Mark Newell. Leah Finlay, of course, a star performer at the moment. Ran 10th at the New Zealand title, did the 98D machine. And what about Brendan Fisher in the 17 car? It's an ex-Peter Dixon 2NZ car. We all know what Peter Dixon has gone on to do in the world of Speedway. As we roll around to the green, Barry Taylor, Leah Finlay, your front row. Long hold, racing green now, and Blair Finlay gets away like a bullet from a gun. The 98D car hits the front. Brendan Fisher high and wide in the 17 machine. So he shows his intention to run the gentleman's line around the outside of the racetrack. Brendan Fisher, Opposite Lock Motorsport, Spinner Motorsport, spun in front of the field and unfortunately was collected. Put the jinx on him there, folks. Done that a bit lately. Shane Greer with nowhere to go. Shane McIntyre will be looking at that replay, rubbing his hands together as Brendan Fisher overcooked himself. Shane Greer with nowhere to go. Nasty contact. Right rear on right front. Brendan Fisher had the best seat in the house as he watched Mark Newell almost get him. Shane Greer didn't miss. The Greer logging 33. Is back rolling though under his own power. Bit of debris on the racetrack down here, just a piece of paper. Might be some money out of Ricky Bolton's wallet blowing down the front straight. As your race leader, young Blair Finlay in the I Paint Limited Custom Signs, Kelvin's Rust Repairs. 98D, Barry Taylor from Central Motor Speedway in the 28T machine. Always a hard racer is Barry Taylor. Bit of discussion with Shane Greer in the cockpit of the 33D machine. And Shane Greer, I believe, is keen to take a restart. Wild looking new style of bodywork after that heavy contact. Check that out, folks. The Greer Logan colour car painters. 33 sporting a really nice back end. Blair Finlay leads the field to green. Racing now, the 98D machine. He's got company though, Aaron Andrews in the Hypermac, the 57D car, Otago medals on the side. He's coming for him. As Aaron Andrews with a full head of steam in the 57D car. Showing his intent to run the high line. Blair Finlay though, parking the car nicely around the middle, the bottom of the racetrack at 3 and 4. Too wide for the race lead as Aaron Andrews gets it at the stripe. So Aaron Andrews has hit the front. Blair Finlay though gets too wide again through turn number 1 and 2, can't hang. And will he change lane? Will he follow Aaron Andrews upstairs? Aaron Andrews running around the cushion at both ends. Awesome deck at the moment. The racing surface looking a picture here at the Rock FM Beachlands Speedway. Aaron Andrews parking the right rear beautifully on the cushion. And he checks out of this one. Finlay, Taylor, the Flying Scotsman, Miller and the 10 cars look good tonight. Running in 4th at the moment. Rounding out the field at the moment is Mark Newell in the MV Motorsport 96. Struggling to find some drive in that car at the moment. But check out Aaron Andrews. What about the Otago medals 57D machine? With 5 laps to run. Looking untouchable. What about this battle? The Flying Scotsman in the 10 car. Coming after Barry Taylor. The gentleman's line from Stu Miller up high and wide. Trying to find some drive. Stu Miller all over the back of Barry Taylor. Getting a close inspection of the rear of the Mustang-bodied Ford Power 28. Three to run, 12 laps the journey. Aaron Andrews with the drone. Getting some awesome footage up above. With a 3-second lead over Blair Finlay. Taylor still with his hands full. Stu Miller in the 10. Track slicking off a little bit at both ends. As we enter the white zone. Race leader Aaron Andrews at 3 and 4 for the final time. The 57D machine is going to take a comfortable heat number 2 over the 98 of Blair Finlay, the 28 of Barry Taylor. Miller and Newell round out the field. So as the noise goes down, Aaron Andrews led home Blair Finlay, Barry Taylor, the Flying Scotsman, Stu Miller was 4th. Mark Newell rounded out the field, and of course, Brendan Fisher and Shane Greer not classified in the 17 and the 33 cars. It's on the dummy grid, the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloon grade. But be sure to pay off this fella in the arena, folks. Aaron Andrews, the Otago Metals 57D car. Sponsor and number synonymous with this venue, Beachlands Speedway. Second generation racer, of course, with the big V8 bangers.
They are going to line them up side by side. These are a non-contact grade. They are only youth saloons. They are 12 to 16 years of age. They can only run up to a 1600cc motor vehicle. It can't be turbocharged or anything like that. It can be VTEC, however, though, if you do run a Honda and it does have VTEC. And as we touched on earlier on, it is a grade that gets, they call it the stars of the future. These guys, they come from youth saloons, they go to super stock, super saloon, stock cars, you name it. And a lot of the drivers that are out there today are drivers that have graduated from mini stocks or youth saloons. Now, the youth saloon class, they are only Invercargill and Dunedin. We are the only two tracks that run them. But the grade has just gone from strength to strength to strength. A lot of people choosing to run a youth saloon rather than a mini stock because of the feel that they get. It feels like they're in a real car, like your parents have just given you the car keys on a Saturday night. And that is why they chose a youth saloon rather than a mini stock. It teaches them handling and car control for the big world, Steve. And a lot of people, like my dad's partner, they drive like these guys every day.
Yeah, the youth saloon grade certainly a absolute breeding ground for the stars of the future. Unfortunate issue for the 88D machine on the outlet. Caleb Marshall just unsighted down the backstretch, run into the back of the 828 car, Matty Stewart, and looks like a ton of damage on the Ag and Auto Direct 88 of Caleb Marshall. That's a unfortunate one. Run and done before they took the green for Caleb Marshall in that 88. Speaking of the green, we're coming to it. Clay Marshall inside of the front row with, I believe, Lucy Greer in the 7 car tonight. Green waves, and we are racing. Shannon Simon round the outside, hits the front off the start. What a run from the 26 car, Shannon Simon, to hit the front early in this one, Stiffy.
Yeah, you should have seen the way he accelerated off there. He read that green flag just perfectly. He had no one in front of him, so it was open track and just round the outside of everyone to take an early lead here on lap number 1 at the Rock Beachlands Speedway for the Youth Saloons race number 2. It's really quite hard to see these numbers at night time, isn't it? And I mean, you got the big white numbers out there that you can see quite clearly, but it's really just quite hard to read. We need our binoculars, Steve.
Yeah, it's hard, Yakka. We can't blame old age, either of us, for our lack of eyesight. Perhaps if we squint, we might be able to sort it as Clay Marshall in the 97 car gets up the inside of Leroy Liam Gillies. That 95 car looking strong in third.
Look at Lucy Greer, though, up in that second spot, having the race of her life behind Shannon Simon. Do you reckon she can hold off some of these very hard-charging cars like Tyler Kelk? I mean, up into 6th spot there, looking up the inside of another car to gain a couple of positions going down the back straight.
Yeah, Lucy Greer doing a stellar job in that 7 car. Of course, Savannah Simon has previously campaigned that car. I do believe this is the first time we've seen Lucy Greer in that machine. So doing a very good job. Of course, Savannah Simon in the stock car tonight. Speaking of drivers graduating into the adult grades, a prime example right there. Tyler Kelk on the inside of Zara Lee Tahura, digging hard round the bottom, the 48 machine. Love the way that guy races, Tyler Kelk. He just races so hard. Doesn't mind a little bit of contact. He'll go well in a contact grade, I reckon, Stiffy.
It might be the calling for him. We're talking about Tyler Kelk here. Yeah, obviously his dad coming from Streetstocks, so he'll have that kind of race car just going through his veins, his blood, and he'd be keen, I reckon, on a contact class. But racing quite clean here in the youth saloons. It is a non-contact grade. He's trying to hunt out Liam Gillies there in that. Oh no, sorry, Lucy Greer in the 7 car. He's got past everyone else, and that is for 3rd spot, Steve.
Yeah, Tyler Kelk, certainly one of the star performers in this grade here at Beachlands Speedway. Shannon Simon's checked out of this one. Most of the straightaway lead for Shannon Simon. Back to Leroy Gillies in the 95 car. And Tyler Kelk wants that second spot. Running down Gillies. Marshall and Greer side by side down the back straight. Clay Marshall with his hands full in that AE 101 Toyota, the 97 car. White zone now, Shannon Simon, 1 lap to run. And a clean pair of heels, comfortable lead for Shannon Simon in the 26 car. Comes off turn number 4, takes another flag, does Shannon Simon. Leroy Gillies comes home in second from Tyler Kelk. Next back was Lucy Greer in the 7, Clay Marshall in the 97. But what a performance, Shannon Simon comes home with a 4-second gap back to second place, Liam Gillies. Tyler Kelk, Greer, Marshall, as I mentioned, your top 5. Shannon Simon. There's the last name that would suggest Speedway flowing through the veins. The Simon name, of course. Been around this place for a long time. Blacktop Toyota in the AE 111 Levin. Who needs VTEC, Stiffy?
Me. I drive a Honda, I got VTEC. And I got a couple of stickers, so I must have a couple of extra horsepower too, I reckon.
I can picture you driving the streets of Invercargill in a VTEC Honda with a few stickers on it, eh?
How do you know it's the streets? I might drive the footpath, Steve. I took lessons off you.
What sort of stickers have you got on your Honda? What sort of Honda have you got?
Fast ones.
Did you cut the springs?
No way.
Take them out.
I grinded them.
Take them out. Yeah.
Nah.
It's action for the whole family. With 23 tracks around New Zealand, there is no better way to spend your weekends than at a Speedway New Zealand track.
Here they come to the start-finish line again.
There's something for the whole family. Sprint cars, saloons, stock cars, sidecars, midgets, and much more. Pack up the family and make a trip to adrenaline-filled, action-packed bashes and crashes that only Speedway can deliver. Visit www.speedway.co.nz to find out the track nearest to you. Speedway, it's our summer thing.
Plenty of gaps, of course. The cars are dropping like flies. The lads doing their best to keep these street stocks rolling, but there will be plenty of gaps through this field. Of course, a grid that was originally set for, I believe, 39 race cars.
Do you reckon that? I reckon that even though there's gaps, they still know their grid position though, don't they? Like they get told you're on grid position 6. Oh shit, there's not a car in front of me now, so where do I go? I'll go back here. So really, it shouldn't take this long to line it up. You know, they should know where they are going.
You reckon there's some gamesmanship, Stiffy? Do you think there's a few sneakies trying to just move forward a little bit?
No, I reckon they're just mucking around. I reckon go grab yourself a hot dog and chips, and it is starting to cool down out there, so go grab a coffee down here on the front straight behind us. They just do everyday run-of-the-mill coffee, 2 sugar and milk. Thanks. My wife's on the replay operator down there at the Pits TV. I reckon I should go get her to get us a coffee. What do you reckon?
Sounds nice to me. I think if she goes now, she'll miss some serious action. Heat number 5 for the 2021 Battle of the Street Stocks about to go live. Looks like Ricky is happy enough at the rear of the field.
You know what? I thought I got rid of my sister for the weekend while I was being up here, and she's still coming through my ear.
Yeah, she's something in my ears as well.
I hope she's just talking to you, Steve.
Restricting.
What's she doing in your ear, Steve? Let's get ready to rumble here with the Street Stocks at the Rock Beachlands Speedway. Stand up! Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a race. Get to the fence. It is going to be all carnage on, and it's not going to be one to miss. Don't go to the toilet. Don't put your nana in front of you with the walking frame. Stay and watch. Let's go, Steve.
Look at Magic Mike Jones in the 29 car, up the inside of Shoemaker. Looking for the lead. Clint Gillies though in the 4-1-7. Leads down the back stretch. Magic Mike gave him a wee shot. Shay McKenzie looking strong in this one in the 2NZ car. No spinners yet. There goes slamming Sam Cathro. McKenzie got him.
Oh, now it's
Concertina. What about Musgrove? Bouncing left and right. We stay green. Sean Hughes with Sean Andrews going after him down the front stretch.
Sean Hughes causing a lot of damage to a lot of different cars last night. He managed to get his fix back up though and back out and racing.
They call him Frodo, or at least they used to. Sean Hughes, built like a prop forward. Played a bit of rugby against Hughes back in the day. Look at the melee down the front stretch. That's all for the lead, folks. As Clint Gillies going after Mike Jones, leading the way. So that was all for second place. Gillies, Shoemaker, Jenkins, Lavender, McKenzie. Magic Mike Jones leading the way.
These cars just flying around this Beachlands Speedway track, and cars are just everywhere. There is action everywhere. Where do you look, Steve? Over there on the back straight. That's where the leaders are, going down the back straight now as they go into turn 3 and 4. Reverse track, normally 1 and 2, but I tell you, what a race here. Battle of the Streetstocks at Beachlands Speedway.
Well, there's a few crawling folks. I believe Benji Smale with a tyre down, so that's disappointment stations for the 59 car. Shoemaker's gone around out of second place. Braden Adams coming to the infield with a collapsed left front. The BAs drop the ball joint as they tend to do. Jesse Helm stranded over there. At turn number 3, McKenzie and Bauer tangled together underneath us. It's all starting to kick off now.
Jared Verdona goes past his teammate there of Shay McKenzie in his old car. I tell you what, there's action everywhere. Michael Jones leads it at this stage, but can he hold off these Dunedin cars? Can he hold off the carnage? Look at McKenzie's guys, almost over.
Almost over. Paul Leslie was involved in that one. Leslie rejoins the fray. Bauer and Gillies are stranded down the front stretch. I suspect we go red, we do. Well, we'll all catch our breath.
I bet you Shay was puckering up.
Holy baloney, there's been some action in this one.
Holy baloney? What is that?
Well, I'm not allowed to swear, Stiffy.
Holy baloney, he says.
Magic Mike Jones in the 29 C Machine leads the way, I think. What do you reckon, Stiffy?
I think so, yeah. What a race. What a race. It's a lot easier when you got your graphics down the bottom here and it tells you who is where. And so here's some replays.
Look at Mike Jones.
Yeah, going around all. He was so sideways. Shay McKenzie spins that 47 car. Now that created this.
So that was, of course, early doors. That was lap 1 at the southern end of the racetrack. Look at Musgrove.
Now that first, sorry for the people that are out in the crowd and you can't quite see this. If you get a pair of binoculars, you could probably look for our window, Steve?
This is McKenzie almost rolling. So McKenzie was looking to get to the infield, I believe, with damage. Paul Leslie with nowhere to go. It stood up high, it almost balanced nicely. Lockie McLean, he overcooked himself.
Yeah, he goes around by himself, but I think he got away with it pretty scot-free. He just went into the infield, so a good piece of driving there from Lockie McLean to avoid all the other cars that are out there. Look at that, fireworks.
This is Bauer and
Shay
McKenzie tangled together. So Bauer is now on the hook, as you see live images on the Pits Media. Benji Smale in the 59 D Machine.
Lights out.
With issues in this one also. So Clint Gillies in the 417, he refires and he'll rejoin the action.
Oh, the 15 car gets spun up straight away. So this is all on here for race number 2 or heat number 5 of 6. Michael Jones leads the way. Ben Jenkins, Paul Leslie, followed by the first of the Invercargill cars, Troy Dryden. So it's on some big hitters up the front at the moment. Can they continue the momentum for the rest of the race, Steve?
I believe Jared Verdona running in the 4th position as well. So Verdona has stayed out of the trouble in this one. Mike Jones a long way clear though. Busy in lap traffic. He's got Musgrove with the bonnet open. So that's your race leader on screen, the 29 car. There's a couple of limpers out there, Sam Cathro and Benji Smale limping for points.
Corey Schumacher sitting up there in that 5th spot, so he's now making some ground on the field as well. After a bit of an early mishap, he's managed to claw his way back up, but some very fast cars up the front.
So white flag next time by, I do believe, as your race leader, Mike Jones, Magic Mike Jones in the 29C, the Falcon Parts.
He is having an amazing run here at Beachlands Speedway tonight.
White. So flagman missed him, but we are on the last lap, and Mike Jones with a cruise through the southern end of the racetrack is going to get there. High speed impact into the wall. Helm took Ben Turner in. Checkers for Mike Jones in the 29 car, and we wait for Ben Jenkins run second. Paul Leslie third. Dryden the 82. Jared Verdona. That's your top 5 cars, and we'll wait for the official timing and scoring as the rest of the field come across the stripe. Jesse Helm put Ben Turner away big time off the end of the back straight there, Stiffy, on the final lap.
Yeah, Turner done quite well to make that not such a massive impact, because they were going in there at a great rate of knots. A few sparks, but that was pretty much all it was. So here we go. Fastest lap was Sean Hughes. So that is, it took 18 minutes and 47 seconds to do that one lap.
Mike Jones did, though, lead home. Ben Jenkins, Paul Leslie, Troy Dryden, Jared Verdoni, your top 5. So Mike Jones, the Falcon Parts, 29C.
He is having a stellar run here tonight, Steve. That car is on, isn't it?
Well, he won the top 10 shootout untouched, didn't he? And he will be looking really, really strong on points with Magic Mike Jones. He was 6th on points after 3 heats last night. Of course, took the double points top 10 shootout victory. So Magic Mike Jones, unofficially, I would say, would be top of the pops at the moment. Brett Bauer, the bank, with big damage on the Lexus V8 Sora. He's on the hook, so the boys will have some work to do on the bank.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere, because race number 6, or race number 3 of the night, heat number 6 of the weekend, it is going to be lit. I'll tell you that. It is going to be all on. The races just seem to be getting harder and harder, and you've got to give it up to the guys that are out there on track. They must be finding it an absolute killer out there. Where do I go to avoid it? Do I go through it? Don't know, pucker up, hold on, hope for the best.
Contact grade speedway, isn't it? It can be cruel. Sam Cathro was up there on points, as was Benji Smale. Well, Benji Smale was right up there on points, suffered a puncher early on in that one, or suspension damage. Limped home for points, but he was copping a little bit of attention. We're going to take a wee breather. We've got some cool interviews coming up shortly. Enjoy these replays on the Pits Media. As we see Ben Turner fired off the end by our very own Jesse Helm here at Beachlands Speedway. Hope you're enjoying the show in the arena, folks. Back soon. Production
Build it, make it, fix it, shift it, tow it, stow it, dig it, lift it, mow it, trim it, grind it, chip it. We hire it. Mix it, pour it, smooth it, finish it, saw it, clean it, nail it, polish it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it.
He wants to get into it, and we are about to go green. Darren Simpson, the 55 car, on the outside of the front row. He's going to lead the way. There's a little bit of contact down at turn number 1. Alicia Gillies, smoky old Honda, Wonder if Stiffy's old Honda down in Invercargill smokes like that. As Darren Simpson continuing to lead the way. Gareth Cayley struggling to hang with race leader Darren Simpson. What about Regan Constable in the 63 car around the outside of Michelle Cuff? That's battle for third. There's old Smoky Alicia Gillies. Continues to battle in the midfield. We've got a car stop, exit of 2. It's Jared Constable in the Subaru. And we will do it again. Green and racing. What about Regan Constable pulled out a line? Michelle Cuff gets a drive up the inside and demotes Constable back to 4th briefly, but round the outside, Regan Constable runs in the 63 machine. Michelle Cuff racing hard in the 19 machine. Ben Howard now senses an opportunity. Darren Simpson leads. Michelle Cuff just running that little bit lower on the racetrack. Ben Howard now senses a chance. Michelle Cuff busy at the helm of the 19D Falcon. Elena Johnson looking to get involved in that one. This is your battle for second position. Gareth Cayley, Regan Constable. So the Magan Turbo supported Gareth Cayley. Just can't quite hang with the race leader, Darren Simpson, who's checked out by 4 car lengths at this stage. Cayley's car, though, looking a little bit better as the laps wind down here. Simpson still untroubled at the front, though, with that 4, 5, 6 car length little buffer at the moment. Ben Howard has closed up onto the back of Regan Constable. Michelle Cuff has dropped down a few positions. As Regan Constable looking busy on the back of Gareth Cayley. Little bit of contact, bumper to bumper action. Ben Howard now fires one up the inside at 3. Five laps into this one, and Gareth Cayley continues to be hounded by Regan Constable. Good brake sparks from Regan Constable's 63D machine as he gets on the binders at both ends of the racetrack. The race leaders struck trouble. The 55 car of Darren Simpson. Has he got a right front bag deflated? I believe he has. So he drops like a stone. Unfortunate for Darren Simpson. Gareth Cayley all of a sudden leads the way, folks. Gareth Cayley. Regan Constable and Ben Howard go too wide down the backstretch. Ben Howard digging in the 34 car. Constable has a shot off of turn number 4. White flag, wonder run. So Regan Constable to the inside of Cayley. Too wide down the backstretch, but Gareth Cayley draws a little bit clear. Constable round the bottom. Gareth Cayley will wind it up and runs to the flag. The 26 car of Gareth Cayley from the 63 of Regan Constable. Ben Howard in a good, strong 3rd position. Heartbreak City for Darren Simpson. Elena Johnson ran in 4th position. And Callum Stanley rounded out the top 5. A man we did not mention in that race, but runs home in a quiet 5th position. As as we are getting prepared to go downstairs. Quick time, and that one was Callum Stanley on a 20.1. So he made good progress to run home in 5th position. Track position not in his favour though. There's pretty cool rev limiter action from Callum Stanley there. What that was about. Checkered flag to Gareth Cayley. Pay him off in the arena, folks. He's pumped up, and rightly so. Stock cars on the dummy grid. The production saloons will roll off the racetrack. Gareth Cayley, a well-earned victory lap.
All right, now we're down here with Mike Jones, 29C, actually the defending champ from last year as well, and he's doing pretty well tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, seem to be, yeah.
You'll be up there in the points. You have a few boys out there helping you, so what's the plan for the last one?
Buckle up tight and foot flat, and just hope I don't hit any spun cars.
Yeah, no, it's pretty carnage out there. There's cars going everywhere, you know. What do you got? 36 other street stocks out there. It's pretty hard, fast racing around here.
It's incredible, yeah, and the track's bloody awesome, and yeah, we're getting around there pretty quick, and you got to be looking around the other corner or you'll be hitting something. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's good to see so many street stocks around here. You got anyone you want to thank, sponsors and wife and that?
Yeah, it's all my sponsors. If it wasn't for them, there's no way I'd be here. My wife, kids, pit crew, yeah, wouldn't be here without them. Yeah, awesome.
Yep, bloody awesome. Good luck for the last race. Okay, thanks. Cheers.
Thanks a bunch for that, Harley Rob, down there with Magic Mike Jones. Magic Mike looks a bit different these days. Man, a few words. As the 215 of Kahu Gray got away to an early lead. I'm not even on the right page. That sums me up. Sinead McNally with Zane Tahura. Puts the shot on down at turn number 1, did Zane Tahura. Moves through into second spot, so Sinead McNally will look to try and get to the back of Zane Tahura and repay that one. Race leader is Kaha Gray in the 215 machine. Looks like Peter Knight puts the block on. Gray spins. Zane Tahura will assume the lead. Peter Knight playing block man. Race leader though. Gets Peter Knight out of the way. Knight with a flat right front Supercat on that race car. Sinead McNally puts the big spin on. Peter Knight will have a little bit of fun in this one. Savannah Simon's gone around in front of Gray and Greer. So that was an unfortunate one. Simon just finding her way in the stock car grade. Peter Knight putting the shot on the 215 machine. Harry Greer and Knight now playing some games. Big spin from Harry Greer. Knight goes around. The earth shook down there as I believe Savannah Simon was taken into the wall by Cody Glover. Peter Knight is an absolute pest out there with Zane Tahura all over him. What's Kaha Gray got in stock? Big rollover off the end of the back straight. Holy moly, in the background a shot. Well done, cameraman. I believe Nico Tahura has rolled into the catch fencing.
All right, we're down here in the pits with the 44 GM Brad Kahui. Mate, you're out there mixing it up. Must be good, eh?
Yeah, it's fucking feeling good out there, mate. Good traffic.
Yeah, no, 36 other cars out there. How are you going over the whole weekend? Are you out there mixing it up or you're up there winning some races?
Nah, I'm having troubles with the car at the moment. I need a clutch and gear shifter and that, but we're getting it sorted, eh? Hope you go to Ashburton tomorrow and stir it up.
Yep, so one more heat tonight. You're going to make it out for the last one and stir it up for the people out there watching and the family on the TV watching it live?
Yeah, hopefully the car can perform and stir it up for everybody, eh?
Yeah, no, that's what it's all about. You want to thank any sponsors, pit crew and that?
Yeah, I'll thank everyone at Greymouth fucking looking after me and that, and Bad Boy Graphics, TFH Motorsport, Guthrie Barons, and Bridgestone Greymouth.
Awesome, bro. We'll have a good last race and we'll catch up after.
Stock cars Dishing it up, so Zane Tahura with a wild ride down there, entry of turn number 3. Good to see him out of the race car. We'll remember that score and settle it in due course. Green flag underway once more. So Peter Knight in that 27 car with a flat right front tyre, looking to dish out some punishment. Harry Greer will go in on the back of him, put the spin on. Savannah Simon's gone around. The 7 machine. Sinead McNally, though, leading the way. The 1-2-1 stock car from Harry Greer running in second. Kaha Gray in third. Cody Glover playing the games with Peter Knight. Takes the Prozac car to the wall and holds him up. Peter Knight gets the foot up it to get out of there. Cody Glover now will feel the wrath of Peter Knight. Harry Greer piles in. That was a good shot. Sinead McNally, race leader, streaks through, but the action is looking fun between Peter Knight, Harry Greer, etc. Checkered flag is out for Sinead McNally. But what about the action on the other side of the racetrack? Gray, Knight. The games continue all the way to the line. So Sinead McNally in the 1-2-1 from Greymouth takes the chocolates. The third heat race here. The stock cars here at Beachlands Speedway. McNally from Greer, Gray, Simon ran 4th. A real mixer. Fun and games between Knight, Glover, Gray. Tahura got dispatched off the end of the back straight.
Olivia Glover out there as well, just flying under the radar, going to start alongside Shannon Simon up the front. Flying very much under the radar here this weekend at Beachlands Speedway, but very eventful stock car race by the looks of that last stock car race, putting on a bit of a show for their last race of... Is this your last meeting here at Beachlands Speedway? Yep.
It
So
is, Stiffy, yes.
definitely putting on a good show. So good to see a good crowd here.
Sending it off with a bang. So Zane Tahura on opening night next season will have a score to settle straight off the bat. The 88D car, of course, up into the catch fencing over there at entry of turn number 3. Mulford Holdings, Youth Saloons, come to the green. Glover on the outside, Shannon Simon the inside of the front row. Caleb Marshall in that 88 car, ripping round the outside of a couple off the start. There's contact.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
For as bad as that was, Stiffy, that could have been a whole lot worse.
So that's the 828 car involved in that of Maddie Stewart. Is that the 52 car over there of Olivia Glover as well?
Yep.
There's quite a number of cars. Fantastic meeting here to end the season at the Rock Beachlands Speedway. There's a bit of a replay, see that?
You scare me, Stiffy, when you say poo tubed and spat off in the same sentence. It's terrifying chat. Olivia Glover.
I thought you'd know what I was on about.
It's Caleb Marshall.
I don't know what you're talking about. But they have gone green here at Beachlands Speedway for the final race of the Youth Saloons here. And it is going to be Shannon Simon that's going to lead the way coming out of 1 and 2. And they are going to shoot down the back straight to Herder.
The yellows are on. Leroy Gillies will take fire. So the front of that race car caved in. Bit of residual steam coming from the front. Cup of tea, I believe, in the front of the 95D machine. So he'll take a push to the infield. Hopefully...
steam and a pancake. Zara Lee Tahura up in that second spot as well. Got a very, very hard charging Tyler Kelk though. Look at that round the outside on the restart. Fantastic racing here by this young fella. He's come from just about the back of the pack, but has Shannon Simon got enough? Zara Lee Tahura is going to be in that next spot back. Then it'll be Riley Stewart in that 661 car third, trying to hold off a very hard charging 48 car of Tyler Kelk as they make their way out of 3 and 4 and down the front straight. They put the pedal to the metal. Oh, that one's on the limiter. Can you feel the horsepower, Steve? Oh, mate.
Sounds like you on the main street of Invercargill in your Honda there, Stiffy.
No way. These things sound way cooler. It's a Honda, mate, not a Ferrari. So Zara Lee Tahura doing a good job holding off Riley Stewart and also Tyler Kelk in that 3rd and 4th spot. So Tyler's got through Riley now to take over 3rd. He's going to have Zara Lee Tahura in his sights. Zara goes a wee bit wide, going to lose a wee bit of momentum, and Tyler Kelk didn't quite have enough, still a car length or two in between them, but Zara keeps going very, very wide, and that's allowing Tyler to get right up alongside her, but she seems to have the power down the front straight, Steve.
Shannon Simon doing a beautiful job out front, just real tidy line. Zara Lee Tahura battling for car speed by comparison to the leader, and obviously falling back into the clutches of Tyler Kelk, so just a little bit of inconsistency at both ends of the racetrack. The 37 car trying really hard. Zara Lee Tahura. Tyler Kelk now gets to the quarter panel, down into turn 1. The door is slammed in his face. Tyler Kelk is a hard-nosed racer, and he'll have another crack. Will he go upstairs? The gentleman's line round the top of the racetrack, not there at this end of the racetrack. Zara Lee goes up there.
Tyler right up alongside now, gets that pass for 2nd spot, so Zara Lee Tahura will now go back to 3rd. Has Tyler got enough laps to close in on that 26 car of Shannon Simon? It's going to be an interesting race. Opens up a bit of a gap back to 3rd. Now as we go back to that 4th place car, I'm pretty sure that is the 661 car of Riley Stewart, having a fantastic drive out there as they make their way down the front straight and into 1 and 2. Only a couple of laps to go now for Shannon Simon, but Tyler Kelk has closed it to about 2 car lengths now over Shannon Simon. Oh, closes it right up, going around turn 3 and 4. The race is for the lead here, guys and girls, as they make their way down the front straight. Keep your eyes peeled.
Last lap, Stiffy, so we are in the white zone, quarter mile to run. Tyler Kelk with it all to do at turn number 3. He'll go upstairs.
Look at the brakes grinding on that 26 car of Shannon Simon. Shannon is trying hard.
Simon, though, off of turn 4 to the flag. Shannon Simon takes heat number 3 for the Mulford Holdings Youth Saloons. Tyler Kelp passed plenty of cars, racing to the end. As always, Tyler Kelp, the Save Money, skips 48.
You were on the edge of your floorboard for that, eh?
Oh, absolutely.
Because we don't have seats, so we can't be on the edge of our seats.
Well and truly swelling up for the Youth Saloons. The 26C, Shannon Simon, gets the job done. We thank Mulford Holdings, the series sponsor, as always here at Beachlands Speedway for the Youth Saloons. Shannon Simon gets another flag.
Guess what's up next, Steve?
Yes, it might be heat number 6 for the Battle of the Streetstocks.
If he's not on top, he'll be somewhere below it. That's my guess anyway. But he has had a stellar weekend and one race to go, as you said, right at the back. Let's see what he can do. I don't think he's going to take long to get it to the front. I reckon the key would be just hang back a wee bit, wait for these cars to spin out, cause themselves some havoc, drive down underneath them, drive himself some positions, and then see what he can do with the rest of the race. But some big names in front of him.
As we know, as we've discussed, so many cars missing, Stiffy. So as we said, luck is a huge part of any contact grade speedway racing. And if you can have your worst grid, your back grid, late in the show, you've got to pass less cars to get in the front. Simple as that.
Look, our clerk of the course, he's Ginger. Does that count as a red light?
Ginger Dave, yeah, it's sort of an orange light, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at him.
Goes well, does Ginger Dave. Lawns and Thorns, I believe, is his company, so give him some support. Revels in it. Loves the action here at the Rock FM Beachlands Speedway. What about the guy in the yellow vest?
Ricky Biden? Ricky Trump? I don't know. What do you call him?
I guess these days it's Ricky Biden, isn't it?
If he keeps losing any more here, he's going to need a toupee.
Of course, claim to fame, most broken backs at Palmy Teams Champs in the Superstocks. So Ricky Bolton has been around. He's competing at a high level, the highest level, some would say. Teams Champs at Palmy and Superstocks. For the better part of a couple of decades, Ricky Bolton. We are about to go live for heat number 6, the 2021, the Rock FM Beachlands Speedway Battle of the Streetstocks. Lights are down. Lights are green, and we are racing Kelly Campbell to the early point. The Hulk, Craig Blackler in the 8 car looking up the inside. Campbell will lead down the back stretch. The bank is across the infield, Brett Bauer, so he'll need to let the field go.
So he had a DNF in the last heat too, so...
Is that tactical? Is he going to wait? Has he got a number on the dash? Brett Bauer will wait and see. What about Braden Adams in the 475 car? He's pushing his way to the front, as is Ben Jenkins, who will be up there on points. The Bank and Mackenzie playing games. Adams has gone around.
Oh, the 21 car.
Jam.
Big spin from the 27 car from Christchurch.
Paul Leslie gone around.
Lockie McLean, he's going to be up there on points. He's got a wee bit of work to do from the back. Who's the car that's sitting there?
Sean Hughes.
Sean Hughes sitting in a very dangerous spot over there. Manages to get himself up and going around again though.
Race leader under the control tower. It's the Hulk, Craig Blackler. I think. Yes, it is. Craig Blackler in the 8 car, leading the way from Ben Jenkins.
Fantastic drive from Craig Blackler. He's got some very, very hard charging cars in behind him though. Oh, look at Mike Jones. He's already up in there to maybe about 10th spot. He's on the charge. He knows he's sitting there up on points, so he is definitely on his way through. Fastest lap at the moment, Ben Jenkins, 20.58 seconds in the 345 car. So the track a bit slick now. They've lost about 3 or 4 seconds since the start.
These top 4 cars.
There's your leaders.
Down underneath us, Stivvy, 4 position. Blackler, the Hulk, leads the way from Ben Jenkins in the 345. Kelly Campbell in the 12.
Oh, that 475 car, he went round in front of everyone, but done a fantastic job to get out of the way.
shot was that Buddy Finch with the pancake shot. So Buddy Finch was on the infield, smoking the bags, trying to get the 1-2-1 mobile. Lights go down. Let's rock and roll once more. Green and racing. Ben Jenkins, fastest car on the racetrack, going after the race lead. The Hulk runs up the racetrack a little bit, defends the lead. What's happening down through the field? Magic Mike Jones is up into a strong position, around about 9th position, I believe.
Oh,
Benji's gone around. Benji Smale.
Oh, big shot there from Troy Dryden on Benji Smale. That's going to bring out a red flag. The whole front of that car's all collapsed on that left-hand side now, so bad luck for Benji Smale. He was up there on points too.
Yeah, Benji over and out. There was a huge shot to the left front. Dryden with nowhere to go. Hit him square, hit him flush.
Look at that.
Nasty, nasty blow to...
That car looks cross-eyed. Should have gone spectators.
Oh, it's Matt Stewart. Apologies, I've
Matt
called it
Stewart.
wrong. It's Matt Stewart, not Benji Smale. Benji Smale over here on the backstretch, so apologies, my eyes are not quite doing the job for me tonight. Benji Smale still in it.
He's going to drive it off the track
There's
though,
a
man.
replay, so Matt Stewart went around. Benji Smale was there or thereabouts, just missed. What about Mike Jones almost involved?
Troy Dryden gives him a big serve there, but carries on. And then here's... Oh, no, good.
Jesse Helm and Slam Sam Cathro came together at the other end of the racetrack, and they're continuing to play the game down there, tied together.
That was under pole line shot, so someone won't be too happy with that shot.
Those two have a history here, let me tell you, Stiffy. They have played this game together for a long time. Look at Cathro, deals to him. He was stationary. There's anger between those two.
Yeah, they're actually illegal shots there, Steve. They're underneath the pole line, so...
Mike Jones is around.
Mike Jones, he's facing the other way, so I think Shea McKenzie and the 2NZ car took care of him, so this race is on, ladies and gentlemen.
Race leader comes through. It's Craig Blackler comes through that mess.
First and second, right behind each other, so the race is at the front.
So Helm and Cathro, the red mist has come down between them at 3 and 4. Mitchell Lavender just checks up in front of Shea McKenzie.
Shea with a lot of damage to that left rear, so he is just limping around at the moment.
Lead change down the backstretch, Stiffy. Ben Jenkins has gone into the lead. He's given it away,
smoked
folks.
him.
He's gone in deep down at the southern end of the racetrack, and the Hulk retakes the lead.
Oh, poor Ben Jenkins got to the lead, but he smoked the lap car.
Jenkins now.
Yeah, is that him looking up the inside?
Yes, Jenkins took the lead just before the red come out, and I believe the red will probably be for Helm and Cathro, who are playing the game over there at turn number 3. As you mentioned, Stiffy, there were a couple of shots that perhaps maybe not extremely favourable if you read the rule book. But those two have a history, Cathro and Jesse Helm.
Is that Kelly Campbell down there facing the wrong way?
12 car facing across the infield. Not sure if he was stationary prior to the read or not. I believe he may have just come to rest there. Lights are out. Race lead is over at the end of the back straight. It's Ben Jenkins in the 3-4-5 from the Hulk. Blackler. What's McKenzie doing crawling the pole line?
Got a flat tyre, so he's just limping around doing what he can to help his teammates.
May well have a swipe.
Is that Mitchell Lavender that's gone round? Sorry, it is. Mitchell Lavender in the 555 car.
Car at turn 3, if you could turn your lights out while you leave, please turn your lights off. For Sugar's sake.
Turn your lights off, mate.
White flag for Ben Jenkins.
Some people just don't think, eh?
The 3-4-5 leading the way. The Hulk, Blackler chasing hard.
Someone tap that car on the window, tell them to turn their lights off.
The first 3 together on the racetrack, but they run off turn number 4 to the check, and it's Ben Jenkins in the 3-4-5 from the Hulk Blackler. Benji Smale got up there in 3rd position, so his points haul will be fantastic from that one. Benji Smale we wait for the rest of the field to complete. Ben Jenkins from Craig Blackler, Benji Smale, Paul Leslie in 4th, Braden Adams 5th. Corey Schumacher comes 6th, Kelly Campbell salvaged a 7th. Dan McNally 8th in the 21C. So Ben Jenkins in the 3-4-5 takes heat number 6 in the Battle of the Streetstocks. From the Hulk, Craig Blackler with a good showing late in this 2-night deal. Ben Jenkins will be pumped up, folks. Pay him off. The Agon Auto Direct. Kurt Fabrication supported BA Falcon.
Stand up, guys. Give this guy a round of applause. He definitely deserves it. What a show these Street Stock boys have put on.
There was substantial damage a little bit earlier on in the show. So it's Aaron Andrews front row. Blair Finlay, and what about this? The Flying Scotsman. Stu Miller in the 10 car outside of the second row with clear passage to the front. This will be good. 15 laps the distance. Green in the air. Green is up. We are racing. What about Blair Finlay up the inside? What can he do on the pole line? Aaron Andrews to the cushion. Too wide for the race lead down the back straight. Brendan Fisher's gone spinner in the 17 Hypermac. So he'll rejoin half a lap down. Aaron Andrews leads the way, ripping the lip in the 57 machine. Blair Finlay working a little bit lower, working through the slick part of the racetrack. And one would think the speed is going to be found on the lip, up where Aaron Andrews is running. Stu Miller goes to the gentleman's lane up high. Blair Finlay goes a little bit higher that lap and finds good speed. The Scotsman's gone around. Stu Miller's spun out of 3rd. Unfortunate. Again, he'll rejoin at the tail of the field. Brendan Fisher's taking no further part.
There's a fantastic piece of driving by Barry Taylor to avoid Stu Miller there over there in turn 1 and 2. He must have been mere centimetres away from Stu Miller, so fantastic piece of driving. But that moves Barry Taylor up to 3rd now.
It's good eyes up driving, something a lot of the driver coaches in various forms of motorsport will tell their drivers, get your eyes up, look as far ahead as you can. Your bonnet racing, as Daryl Richards mentioned last night, bonnet racing will drive you straight into the pile-ups every single time. So good eyes up stuff from Barry Taylor.
Aaron Andrews is going to be pretty hard to beat from there. That car's very, very quick. He's up on the cush, riding around on that cush. Blair Finlay, he's having a very, very fantastic season. Qualified for the New Zealand champs and started up the front for them as well in the feature race. And showing he can do it in the dirt here at Beachlands Speedway. The green flag has been dropped for the final race of the Saloon here at Beachlands Speedway. And then Aaron Andrews picks up where he left off from Blair Finlay and Barry Taylor in that 3rd spot. But look at Newley. Oh, sorry, Stu Miller's gone up into 3rd again.
Yeah, stroke of luck there, Stiffy. Stu Miller, of course, spun, but the yellow was for Brendan Fisher's parking down at turn number 2. So Stu Miller got the restart as not the primary cause. Back into 3rd, so the Flying Scotsman with a stroke of luck there. The luck of the Irish or the luck of the Scottish?
And Yuli's looking up the inside of Barry Taylor now as they make their way down the front straight underneath us in the control tower. He can't quite make it stick though, very, very slick down the bottom. And Taylor's using the cush. So obviously there's a bit of momentum and a bit of drive up top still, and that cush definitely working out for the drivers that want to go up there. Aaron Andrews starting to pull away from Blair Finlay now. Stu Miller doing it on the dirt. He's having a fantastic run out there in that 3rd spot. Barry Taylor, Mark Newell, and who's gone round over there? Is that
Brendan Fisher's around again in the 17, so we'll go yellow. Aaron Andrews fired into turn number 1 as the yellow came out simultaneously. So Brendan Fisher struggling to find the handle on the 17 Hypermac machine at the moment. Brendan Fisher.
This is the first meeting for Brendan Fisher in that 17 car. He only arrived down to pick it up last night. He was supposed to race it last night, but he wasn't able to finish work in time, and he had to come down a bit later. So
was campaigned by Craig Phillips last night and is being campaigned by Brendan Fisher tonight. First time in this car for Brendan. He's had a pretty average kind of a run. I mean, it's been not too bad for a first timer. He hasn't spun out all night, apart from this very slick track well, not very slick, but the slick track that we've got out there at the moment. So only down to a handful of cars, but these guys will put on a show for the Saloon feature here at Beachlands Speedway, and Aaron Andrews leading the charge at the moment. Look at the battle for third. They were 3 wide going around 1 and 2, and Stu Miller leading the charge on that from Barry Taylor and Mark Newell.
Looks like Blair Finlay starting to find something down low at turns 3 and 4, certainly through turn 3 carrying good speed. The issue's getting the drive out onto the straights, as we see there. Aaron Andrews ripping the lip and firing off of 1 and 4.
So Blair Finlay's gone to the middle of the track. It doesn't appear to be working out for him very well. He's actually losing ground on Aaron Andrews. So I think Aaron Andrews... Hey, turn your lights off. You over there in turn 1 and 2. I can see your lights. So as they make their way out of 3 and 4 and down the front straight, Aaron Andrews, and then it's a blanket over 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Blair Finlay leading the charge. He's gone mid-track. All he's doing is making that car as wide as possible and hoping that no one will go around the outside of him. The momentum seems to be at the top. Aaron Andrews, he's opened up about half the front straight over the 98 car of Blair Finlay. Stu Miller's gone up top.
Tell you what, Stiffy, someone that loves a slick track, Mark Newell, look at the 96 car digging right around the concrete, around the bottom of the racetrack. Looking really racy, just trying to force the gap on Blair Finlay. Stu Miller persevering up on the lip, but I believe it is going away a little bit. Mark Newell now, 2 wide for 2nd place, gets up the inside of Finlay down the back stretch.
He's definitely looking at it, hasn't quite made that move stick yet.
Just about 3 wide. Down the front stretch, it is 3 wide. Action aplenty at Beachlands Speedway. Mark Newell keeping it straight, keeping it tidy on the bottom. Stu Miller round the top, great racing down the back stretch.
Well, Blair Finlay goes from 2nd to 4th in 1 corner.
Miller right up by the wall at 3 and 4. Mark Newell's found something down on the pole line. A man who has always loved a slick track. Look how straight he's keeping it, Stiffy, round the bottom, but Stu Miller, I love a man ripping the lip round the top of a speedway track. That's what the fans come to see.
And he has got that lip working for him as well. There's a nice push up the top of the racetrack. But Aaron Andrews has just checked out. He is just like, oh, I'm out, see you later. He has opened up the length of the back straight over that battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Stu Miller leading the charge up top track. Then it's Mark Newell though in that 3rd spot. Finlay's looking to try and get it back, but I just don't think he's got anything in the tank. The white flag will fly for the 57 car of Aaron Andrews. So 1 corner to go for the 57 car, the Otago medal sponsored Hypermac of Aaron Andrews. He takes the chicken flag here for the Saloon feature and the last race of the season for the Saloons here at Beachlands Speedway. What a drive from Aaron Andrews, involved in a crash in race number 1, got that car fixed up. He's come out here and he has taken the feature race win by Stu Miller. From Stu Miller in that 2nd spot. Mark Newell rounds out your top 3. Blair Finlay 4th. Barry Taylor will bring up your top 5.
Stu Miller got the job done for 2nd position. Still ripping around the outside. It looked like Mark Newell had something worked out down low on the racetrack. I tell you what, Mark Newell and Stu Miller would have been wishing for a caution and a restart there. Both cars looking really pacey late in that one. Aaron Andrews did the damage early, maintained the big lead. But the Flying Scotsman had something late in that one there. Getting ready, Stiffy, for the chain race. The final program on what's been a great 2-night, final race on the program, what has been a great 2 nights of action. Mike Jones finally makes it out onto the racetrack after breaking his chain, leaving his derby car back in the pits. This is going to be good, Stiffy. Bit of fun.
This is going to be real good. I've walked around the crowd tonight and I've noticed a lot of people that have said they've never seen
a street stock chain race before. So the way that it works is they get a chain and they get a car and they chain them together and then they go racing. Just if you couldn't quite work that out, like the director from the Pits TV. Are disqualified. If they lose their car, they are disqualified, so they can carry on racing, but they are no longer a part of the street stock chain race. Now it is limited laps, or until, if they can do it in between time, until there is one car left with a derby car chained to their race car. So it's a very, very interesting race. The aim of the game is to lose the other person's derby car, but keep yours on if you can. So it is going to be entertaining. If you did not notice, they do not have a driver in that derby car.
Gee, I bloody hope not.
How fun would it be though, Steve?
I'm enjoying looking at Lockie McLean's race car down there with 55 Stephen chained on the back. if anyone's seen that, that was my derby car a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have a sponsor, so I put my name on the side of it.
You're loving it, aren't you? You're loving it that it's out there.
Oh, I do love it.
He's frothing up here, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm swelling up big time. The 55 Stephen behind Lockie McLean, that's my pick. Get him behind it. That's good stuff. Mazda Demio, sturdy derby car. Going to get this thing happening very soon. Ben Jenkins' derby car isn't following very straight. It's hanging off to the right, so that's a challenge. Look at that Demio. God, that's a good sight, Stiffy. Look at the back of it. You think the term sitting duck comes to mind?
Nah, rolling car. But is that what you race?
Green, green, green. We are underway. This will be good. Shay McKenzie leading off down the back straight, but look at Ben Jenkins. The Demio's gone.
Well, one of them's already lost their derby car, and they have just given Shay McKenzie the serve of a lifetime. Still manages to keep his derby car, though. Who's that that's just straight line the wall? It's like they haven't turned.
Ben Jenkins with left front steering damage on the 345 machine, I believe.
Oh, so Mike Jones is the guy that's lost his derby car already, and he is just nailing them.
Yes, Braden Adams also. Look at Lockie McLean. The poor Demio. Look at my Demio, Stiffy.
Mitchell Lavender and Sean Hughes having a bit of a coming together with those derby cars. The 417 car. Oh, who's that that's lost their derby car? Sean Hughes, so...
This rate is just about nobody with the derby car. At this point, it's line up the derby cars and hit him at pace,
Yeah, that 475 car, he just smoked Sean Hughes' derby car. No one...
Troy Dryden's avoided the punishment so far.
Look at Mike Jones. Oh!
Lockie McLean going after the Adam Stewart derby car, which is now upside down. So that's a bit of fun down at turn number 1. What can Adam Stewart do? His car's gone turtle. Braden Adams hits it, breaks it off the chain. So that one's over and out.
So there's a lot of drivers without derby cars here now. Shay McKenzie.
Who's still got one? Only McKenzie,
Shay McKenzie,
Gillies,
the 417.
and Troy Dryden.
So 3 cars with derby cars left on the back.
Braden Adams goes on the attack. Look at Mike Jones carrying speed.
Mike Jones is serving everything he can possibly get that front bumper on, I tell you. I think he's hit a derby car over there though, and it brought him to a pretty abrupt halt. Mitchell Lavender.
I reckon Troy Dryden's carrying the best speed of the three cars still in contention here.
Yeah, it seems to me that Shay's been limping around all night. He's really not using those cars to their full potential. We know they're a lot quicker than that.
Shay McKenzie struggling with a car on the chain that's swinging from side to side wildly.
Oh, Mitchell Lavender just put himself in the way of that derby car over the back with Troy Dryden.
The Reds are on.
Oh, the Reds are on.
Perhaps missed the calls. Perhaps just the debris on the track, Stiffy. Certainly some serious shots going in at the derby car down there at turn number 3 and 4.
So Ricky Trump was heading out there, but he's, going the other way. So it looked like he was going to turn around, but...
There's been some action down there at
So they're going over to turn 2. So I wonder if we can get a shot down there and see what they are going to look at. So the 475 car they're looking at.
Looks like a smart car. Ricky Bolton calls for the towie, so the Riley's salvage truck will get the hook over there. Looks like Braden Adams is over and out.
So some replays, look at that.
Cool replays. The poor Demio battered from pillar to post. Lockie McLean went in on the attack early doors on Shane McKenzie. I believe that's where Ben Jenkins copped the damage. Ricky Bolton's done well to get Braden Adams out of the way. That Isuzu Moo puts in the hard yards. And we will get this one underway again, folks. So who's in contention? Dryden over there at turn number 2.
Shane McKenzie down the back straight. And I thought there was another car. Yeah,
Gillies. Clint Gillies
Yep,
is
there we
still
go.
looking good. So Sean Hughes will have a crack.
He
So will
misses.
Adam Stewart. They both miss.
He's going to have another snot at him though. Sean Hughes, can he get him this time? He does. Spins him out over there in turn 1 and 2. He's ploughed into the side of him though. Can't quite make it.
Mike Jones carrying good speed.
Here he goes. Big snot.
Breaks it away.
There's the Derby car gone. Oh, who was that that gave him a big serve afterwards?
Adam Stewart tubed the Derby car, so that's fun and games. His big shots. Look at Shane McKenzie.
So 2 to go. Shane McKenzie and Troy Dryden. The last 2 with Derby cars.
McKenzie's hitting everything he can. Here comes Gillies into the Derby car. Jones the same.
So they're still going to try and snap that car off.
Troy Dryden has stayed out of all the attention in this one.
Yep, flying under the radar is Troy Dryden. Well done. Oh, he spins himself around though. So
yes, he had a shot on that absolutely pulverised Derby car down there. Ben Jenkins now having a go at him on the infield. Mike Jones carrying the most speed of anyone on the racetrack. Gillies goes after McKenzie. Dryden's coming into the firing line now.
they've spun that Derby car completely 180 degrees. Shea still manages to hold on. Troy's coming in for a bit of a look now on Shea McKenzie. Is he going to go around the outside of him though? He's going to try and take out Sean Hughes. Sean is almost, oh there we go. Sean Hughes snaps Shea's car off. 82 of Troy Dryden, the last one with the Derby car on his car. He will take out the street stock chain race.
Depends how the referees run this one. They may try and run the laps, folks, or perhaps they'll wait until Dryden's car is broken away. Hard yakka towing that Derby car on the front hub there, Stiffy.
Oh, look at Shea McKenzie. What a serve!
That was fantastic from Shea McKenzie.
And he goes in for number 2.
Great stuff.
That Derby car is still attached to the back of Troy Dryden's car, even after a snot like that.
Look at McKenzie lines up.
Oh, look at Luke. Mike Jones serves on Sean Hughes.
Things getting rough. No Derby cars to hit, so they're... look at Jones. Will he line up a Derby car down the back?
It is still on there. It is still on there.
Look at Jones.
What did you do, Troy? Did you glue stick that car on there with that chain, mate?
Mike Jones is going ballistic here, Stiffy. Mike Jones in the 29 car is carrying so much speed, just looking for things to hit. You look, he'll line up the next Derby car he can find. Could be one down the back stretch, I reckon.
Oh, Shea puts on another monster hit.
Still on, though.
He is trying everything in his power to ensure that that Derby car is off the back of Troy's car. He is flying. Troy's car, you know what? His dad, I reckon, he'd have a warrant on that car next week.
We're done. We're done, folks. So pay him off. Troy Dryden in the 82 car takes the chain race for 2021.
What do you think of that, Steve?
That was awesome. Let them hear you out there in the arena, folks. Pay them off. That was entertainment at its best here at Beachlands Speedway. Look at Clint Gillies. He lines up a derby car. He's not done wrecking things.
Where's your lollies, man?
Do you want one?
No.
Sure.
What are they? Hey, folks, of course, here we are down at the 2021 Battle of the Streetstocks. Very successful, Harley Rob, wasn't it, mate? It was an awesome bunch of races and a good street stock chain race to finish it.
Yeah, no, I've never seen a chain race, so no, it was bloody good to watch.
You should do that with a stock car chain race.
Well, I'll be all for it. Sign me up.
Good stuff. And of course, you've sort of been poking around in the pits. You're supposed to be a presenter for most of the night, but had to help some people out with some damage. Have you enjoyed the weekend? Not actually competing, but helping out?
Yeah, no, it's the first weekend I've had off from racing for a long time, so it was pretty good. Just plodding around the pits, doing my own thing, doing a little bit for Jace and cruising around. It's been good.
I think there's going to be a few Fantas consumed tonight, is there?
Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking about hitting the road to Christchurch, but no doubt I'll get over there and have a beer and we'll stay the night.
Good stuff. Alrighty, well, thanks very much, Harley, for your help for the day, sort of. And you can go carry on and eat your Skittles, eh?
Yeah, no, bloody good. Alrighty.
Okay, folks, so of course that concludes tonight's racing. Now, we will tell you that we actually don't know what the points are because the points and the delivery of it is all going to be done in the club rooms afterwards because they withheld all the points and all the information about who has won and stuff like that. So actually nobody knows who's won until they get over to the club rooms, which is quite interesting. So that's why we can't give that information. But if you do go to the Beachlands Facebook page or we'll put some stuff up perhaps on the Pits Facebook page as well. We'll be able to tell you exactly who did what and how it all went as well. Big thanks goes out to Steve Thompson upstairs for doing a fantastic job. Also to all the lap scorers that are up there doing their jobs as well. It's been a pretty challenging weekend for them and a challenging season. And big thanks to Ricky Trump or Ricky Biden, whichever one you want to call him. And also to my crew. You got Michaela sitting there, director seat. Stiffy's behind the camera at the moment. Also did a bit of commentary as well. And of course, big thanks goes out to all the SNZ officials and all the volunteers and stuff that have helped out at Beachlands Speedway over the course of this season. But for us, we've got one more event which happens on the 25th of April. Otherwise, that's the last of our car meetings for the season. I do know that the North Island Superstocks are on tomorrow at Wanganui. Be able to buy that stream information. You can find that on Facebook or where to go and get that from. But other than that, from the Pits TV for car racing, thanks very much for supporting us over the course of the season, and we will see you next season with some pretty wicked stuff, all booked and all ready to go.